Hello. So, as in the previous, we are discussing that we are going to start with this 38, 39, 40, right? Okay. So, now let's get started with this question. So, I just copied this question in my notepad. Plus. Now, you can see this create deployment, web app in namespace production. Okay, I just want the one thing to sit here. Let me just set foreground as black, back, sorry, blue and black. And I want something is this. Okay. Now, if you see the first question, create deployment, and this one, they're asking to create a deployment which is of name web app, right? Okay. So let's first take what are all the requirements. The name should be web app and the namespace should be production and image should be Nginx 1.21. Replicas should be 3 and labels are all these labels. There are totally 3 labels I can see, and there is some CPU request and limits as well. Okay, noted, sir. And then there is memory of, if you miss this, and then there should be a update strategy. Strategy should be rolling update, and inside that we need max unavailable 1, maxSurge 1. So basically we are going to create a deployment with all these things. Right. Now, how are we going to solve this? So, I have a environment here. Oopsie, it's asking for the login. Okay, I will do. Let me just. It's asking for login. I'll just log in with my Google. Okay, so the same way you need to log in with your Google or GitHub accounts, and there are some other options as well. You can do that. Okay. Now, first of all, I need a namespace here, which is production, right? Okay, I just want to show you how to see the namespaces. Like currently in this, we don't have any namespace existing. So first we need to create one namespace. Create namespace, which is of name production. Okay. So yeah, I have created a namespace called production. Now I need to create a deployment with that namespace production. So there is an imperative command create deployment. We know that we can create any resources in Kubernetes using some Kubernetes documentation, or you can also uh, create it using imperative commands. Now, if you just see the Kubernetes.io is the documentation page, which will be freely, you can open it. It's an open source and you can open it during your examination for anything. Okay, So this will be given access to you when you're writing the exam. I hope you know that information. So K create deployment, and you're stuck with this how to create. Now then you can just go here and then just uh, search here Kubernetes documentation like kubectl create deployment. Then you can see that you have certain documentations kubectl create. Okay, it's not there. Or you can just take hyphen hyphen help here. You can get different options here. Okay, so what I'm going to see is kind of this thing, right? So I'll just use that. And what is a name they're asking for? Web app. Now I can give the name of the deployment as web app, and a name of nginx colon 1.21, right? Image and tag should also match, so 1.21. Replicas is 3. Now I can also give the namespace as production. I want to create in the production environment, production namespace. So in this way, logically you can divide the environment and you can create the resources in that particular namespaces. Okay, so in this production namespace I have I'm trying to create a deployment, but I just don't want it to entirely create. So what I will do, hyphen hyphen dry run equals to client hyphen no yaml greater than my dev dot yaml. And now you can see that it is not created. Get deployments hyphen n production, it's not created. But if you see a file called mydep.yaml, it is there, and whatever we are trying to create is got inserted into this file. Okay, so there are some replicas and all. Why I opened this? Because I need to edit the labels. They asked for so until this it's fine. Now we are going to see the labels. What are the labels? App should be web. Okay, they didn't specifically mention about the labels, right? Like, should it be created under this or this? So let's just give it here app and tire front end. Okay, and then environment as production. Okay, so what is the difference between this labels and this labels? Is that these labels are belonging to the deployment and these labels are belonging to the pods inside the deployments? And why should these labels match to the this selector match labels? Because the selector match labels has to match with this one, because these are used to identify the pods. Basically a deployment creates a replica set, so a replica set need to identify the pods to make it up or down when the according to its health status. So in that case, if it has to identify the pods, this match label should be similar to the metadata labels. Okay, and we can This one is not belonging to a pod, this is belonging to a deployment only. And now I think we are fine until now. Yes. And now I need to set resources. So basically, CPU memory comes under the resources. So remember that keyword is resources, and we can just search here like kubectl set resources. And now we will be able to see the set resources, and an example here is there, right? We need it. We can edit here according to what we need. So basically my deployment name is web app, and limits are CPU 200, memory is 256 MB, request is 100, and memory is 128 MB. And I'll set this resources. But before setting it, oopsie, it's not yet created. So let's just create it. Because you can't apply this, you can't set the resources unless it is created, right? So I'll just do this, but unfortunately it's in the production namespace, so we need to set that as well. So I have to queue the namespace as production. So this is the command we used. And rolling update strategy and all they are using. So what I'll just do edit deployment. And what is this deployment name? Web app don't come until you mention the namespace production, and then tab out. We get web app deployment, and if we go down there is a rolling update strategy. Under the spec you can see maxSurge is 25%, and oops, okay, so max unavailable is 1, and that's it. It got edited. Let's just see get deployments hyphen in production web app hyphen white get you can also see replica assets. Okay, we need to give it out hyphen in production. Okay, so basically the old deployment pods are stopped and the new deployment pods are running. I just want to see what are all the pods that have been created in the namespace production. Basically there are 3 different pods, and if you see you can also do describe pod hyphen in production web app. I will just select one of the pod present on the machine. This production namespace, it just gives me all the details, and I can also check with the deployment as well. Describe deployments hyphen in web app, production, and then if you see it rolling update strategy and all. Okay, I think this is fine. So we have just solved one of the questions from the three. Okay, let's so this is solved. Okay, so currently we have a deployment. Now there is another question which is to update this deployment to use this image, and we have to record that change while we are updating the image, and we need to also do a monitor rollout. That means whatever that is getting rolling out, we have to monitor it, and we have to verify all the parts whether they are updated or not, and we need to check if there is any issues occurred. We need to roll back to the original version. So this is basically to improve our skills in checking the rolling out of the deployments. So let's explore that as well. uh, so one thing you understood is there is an imperative command to set the CPU and memory resources. So you need to remember set resources. Similar to that, when you want to change any image, we also have a imperative command called set image. So you just remember that keywords, right? So we can just search here kubectl set image, and we get this. So set image you can use for any deployment, daemon sets or some files. It is showing like different options here. For now we need for a deployment, and we need to set for a deployment only. So what it is saying that deployments nginx container image to um, nginx container image to nginx 1.9.1, and its busy container image set to busy box. So basically if you see the deployment, right, what we have as an image is 1.21, which is for the container nginx. And now I can use the same, I just copied the command over there. And what is our deployment name? We have as web app, right? And nginx image, they are asking to set is 1.22, right? And see, there is an option to record here. No. So do we have an option to record? Hmm. So during the rollouts, record check to record changes, we can just add a record hyphen hyphen record option. So I just want to show you that one, hyphen hyphen record. Okay, I forgot one. Basically, that is. Namespace production, and is deprecated, will be removed in the future. Okay, now currently it's deprecated, it seems. Now I want to check the status of this deployment. Okay, I will not again. So I'm just forgetting this successfully rolled out. I want to see the history of that rollout. For anyone who is wondering what I am doing, see, because I have placed it to record, that's why it is showing me this change. And now it is in the revision 3. If I want to move it to the revision 2, that means I get the image 1.21, which is in the earlier stage. I need to do an undo deployment. Okay, undo deployment over to that revision number. If you want at the revision number 2, you can also do this. This is the history at revision 2. So the name of this will be web app, and in the namespace production. So it just says me that okay, these are the things data, okay, these are the things we have. So when I do at revision number 3, it says me okay, at revision number 3 you have 1.22, at revision number 2 you have 1.21. So that way we have, if you want to undo it, you can just do a rollout, and there will be an undo option. You can just uh, do an undo. Okay, and yes, undo hyphen. I don't know, for example, I don't know how to do an undo operation. I just do hyphen help, and it gives me a set of commands. Undo to revision 3 is what I need to use. So hyphen to revision, which revision I want is 2. And now I can check the history of this deployment. So basically the 2 is removed because currently I'm in the 2 only, with where if you see rollout history hyphen revision equals to 4. I'm currently here. If I just again want to undo to revision 3, it will again set my image to 1.22. That way it works. So if you are wondering like what is this rollouts and why am I doing all this undo and how do I know all these commands, I don't know. Generally, like you can just check in the documentation, or you can just check kubectl rollout hyphen help. So you will get different options here, and if you want to get more of the details like this, right? So then again you can do like this. For deployment I need, so again for deployment we have different options here, like to revision and all these several things we have like that. So you can either undo, you can use history, rollout, restart, you can do rollout status, you can see, and all these things are present for the daemon sets deployments. And okay, so this is for the previous deployments. Stateful sets is also having, I guess. Okay, so rollout is what you have to remember here. So from previous example, we have remembered set resources for CPU and memory to set, and also to set the image. We have seen set image command. Whereas if you want to roll out to a previous change, or you want to set that you want to check the history of what are the changes. And why we need it, because we can see all the revision numbers and accordingly we can set to that particular revision. So you can just do hyphen hyphen undo to that revision. Okay, and if you want to see the history for only one single revision, you can use this command hyphen hyphen revision equals to 2. You don't have to by heart this revisions and all. And I mean, if you just remember that starting command, right, you can just do a hyphen hyphen help and you can get all the information, whatever the commands you need. You can pick it from the help command or you can just search in the documentation as well. So that is what, like, we didn't still explore all the commands until now, but we just explored few of them and we remembered that. So we are good to go for the third question now. Even in the third question also, it is basically I merged this third question. This third question is basically, if I want to show you, Um, API server is failed rollout. Check out the status history, identify problematic version, roll back to the stable version. So basically, in this environment, we are not mocking it to fail. So I just assumed that the same commands which we will be going to use for this third question is what I've showed you from the second question only, that we will see that something has failed out. We have checked the status and the history using rollout status and rollout history commands. So yeah, so rollout status and rollout history commands. And we have also checked to um, go to that particular problematic version, which is rollout status, rollout history to that particular version. We have checked it what went wrong, and we have also identified it and rolled back to the stable version. We assumed that something we identified and we want to roll back to the specific version, so we use this command like hyphen hyphen 2 hyphen revision equals to 1. So this is how we solve the other question. So I hope it is clear for you. So in this section, we have checked few of the. We have gone through some 2 3 questions here, and where we try to create a deployment using several attributes here, and we have explored 2 or 3 imperative commands here like set resources and kubectl set image and rollout related commands as well. So yeah, we are good to go. Thank you so much.